Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's Dealer On webinar, Prospecting, How to Data Mine Your Own Leads and Generate More Business. My name is Eliana Raggio, and I'll be your moderator today. And today's webinar is being presented by Dealer On. And for anyone who isn't familiar with Dealer On, well, we're an award-winning website development company and digital agency, best known for our amazing SEO, the absolute best customer service, and the highest converting website designs in the industry, including the brand new Chameleon responsive website platform. We're so committed to lead conversion, optimization, and customer service that Dealer On is still the only company in the industry to offer a money-back lead guarantee program. So, does your website company guarantee you a 50% lift in leads or your money back? Well, maybe you should check us out at our gorgeous brand new Dealer On website at dealeron.com. And we have a great show in store for you today. We're very pleased to have Jennifer Suzuki as our presenter today. Jennifer Suzuki is the founder and president of E-Dealer Solutions, Inc., an award-winning training company. Jennifer's passion and expertise are evident throughout her career as she has become well-known for conducting monthly training seminars for the NADA, Dealer Academy, NADA Convention Speaker, OEM Training, 20 groups, and state associations. Her training is focused on converting non-present buyers to showroom appointments while improving sales team phone skills, voicemails, emails, videos, chats, and daily operating processes. In today's harsh economy, dealerships require a unique and modern approach to working with the educated buyer to sell them cars, and that's where Jen Suzuki comes in. Her 20 years of experience encompasses a wide gamut of valuable auto industry know-how, such as selling vehicles, training and installing DMS systems, retailing internet leads, and managing an internet sales division comprised of over 28 dealerships. She has a tremendous reputation for delivering in-dealership and online training that significantly improves dealership sales. Jennifer Suzuki can be reached at 954-873-8029 and Jennifer at edealersolutions.com. Now, joining Jennifer today is special guest Chris Canada. Chris Canada lives in Massachusetts and has worked in sales since 2003. He's worked in various positions such as floor sales, internet manager, and lease retention. He's here today to lend ideas, processes, and techniques for those salespeople looking to achieve more sales through data mining. He's going to attest to the fact that he consistently sells 20 plus cars per month using the strategies that we will be discussing today. And he can be reached at chrishonda123@gmail.com. I'm sorry, at yahoo.com. Getting all my Yahoos mixed up. All right. During the presentation, if you have any questions, please use the question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we're going to answer those questions of general interest. If we're unable to get to your question live, we're going to try to respond to you by email later today. Also, don't forget, a link to download a copy of this webinar recording will also be emailed to you later today for your reference. Hey, feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues. Oh, and guess what? Our good friends at E-Dealer Solutions, they're giving away a really great prize today on the webinar. One of you lucky webinar attendees is going to win 3 online training modules of your choice from E-Dealer Solutions online training series, Selling Cars Through Conversations. There are literally so many topics you can choose from on there to help you improve your phone conversations and appointments. Each module also has tools to download for executing positive changes. It's a great prize for your dealership. You have to be on the live broadcast to win it, though. So stay tuned, and you could be the one winning this tremendous prize today. Also, at the conclusion of this webinar, you're going to receive a short survey. So please fill it out. We're always looking for great feedback from our audience. Today, we're going to randomly select a couple of people from all the completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. And hey, we want to know, do you tweet much? We hope you do. We'd love to see what you have to say about today's presentation. So please tag us in it. #DealerOnWebby. I'm at Eliana Raggio. You can also use at Jen Suzuki too. We look forward to seeing what you're saying. So let's get started. Let's learn prospecting and how to data mine your own leads and generate more business. Jen Suzuki, so glad to have you back on the show. You're one of my favorite presenters. I think you're always so eloquent and you're always right on point. So thank you so much for coming back.
Yeah, thanks so much for inviting me. I'm excited today to really kind of tackle this topic because I really feel like there's so many great opportunities for salespeople out there, but oftentimes when you get like in the busy day-to-day hustle, it's hard to kind of step back and think, okay, how can I increase my business? So today we're really going to tackle this one particular area.
I think Great topic. And I think it's one thing that if a salesperson was really, really honest with themselves, they would probably say that they might be lacking in this one subject. So I think it's a strong topic. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have to say. And welcome, Chris Kanata. I love having people that are from the retail side coming on. So thank you so much for being here today and telling us what's really going on at the dealerships.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me. It's the first time for me doing something like this, and I'm excited to join in the festivities.
Okay, well, we're going to try and be gentle on you, Chris, but I can't promise the same for my very tough audience. You know them well, of course. They're your peers, and they're going to want to know what you're doing at the dealership as well. So, hey, Jen, where do we get started?
All right, well, let's get into this thing. Woo! Right, data mining. I mean, a lot of people have a different way to describe it. They have a different way of what their definition is. But for me, it literally boils down to two words: sales opportunities. So today, we're going to look at where the sales opportunities exist for you to create new leads from your existing customers. And once you have that list together, you're going to need to get prepared for contacting those customers. So what I mean by this is, if you need call guys, voicemail guys, and of course the right attitude, today that's what we're going to tackle. And while I won't be able to teach you how to have a positive attitude, I can share my expertise on the tools that you can use while you're contacting these opportunities. And personally, I find that that's the challenge for most salespeople, is knowing what to say. Having a plan together, so we'll tackle these areas here today. There's a lot of opportunities just sitting there in your CRM, and everyone's got a CRM today. You also have your DMS, and both of these tools are paramount for looking for potential opportunities. There's a few ways that you can locate opportunities in your CRM, right? So first, you got to know how to run detailed reports. You can pull opportunities right out of your own CRM, and we'll get into some of those details here today. But you can also purchase a tool from vendors that integrate with your DMS, and they'll help you identify the sales opportunities. You might already have a list, and I love sold customers because to me, that's a slamming list. I mean, that's about as hot as it gets. And while you do have to nurture and take care of them and follow up, I know, not today's sales, are they? Once you get that pipeline in order, you know, the goal is to convert every single month. And in any event, you're just going to need to identify how you're going to produce the lead list that you're going to contact. Eliana, I think it's up on you.
It's time for a poll question. All right, audience, we have 3 poll questions for you today, and the first one is on the screen now. We would like to know, what is your current job title or position at your dealership? Please select one of the following answers. Are you an owner or a general manager? Are you a sales manager? How about an internet manager or BDC director? Are you a salesperson, or are you something else? Once we get a majority of those votes in, we're going to close the poll and share the results. And again, what's your current job title or position within the dealership? Owner or GM, a sales manager, an internet manager or BDC director, a salesperson, or other. And audience, thank you so much for putting in your votes. We really, really appreciate it. Something else I should have said is if you get a question in your head for Jen or Chris, don't be shy. Put those questions, send those questions in. We might, we're probably going to hold all those questions till the end. I'd love a nice, robust Q&A session, but we definitely want to hear from you, and we definitely want to know if there's something that we can help you with. All right, so I'm going to close this poll, and we're going to share the results. And Jen, let's see if this helps you at all.
Okay.
So 4% of today's audience said they are either an owner or a GM. Now, the majority, 50% of today's audience, says that they're an internet manager or a BDC director. 4% of today's audience says that they're a salesperson, and 42% of today's audience say that they're other. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. 42% of today's audience says that they're other. I don't know if that helped you.
Those could be our vendors.
Well, I don't think there's 42% of vendors, but audience, thank you so much for helping us out. You're going to have 2 more poll questions on the way to you. All right? All right. Back to you, Jen.
All right. Well, great. Okay, so let's take a look at where these kind of prospects are hiding. So you got to keep in mind, too, that when you are searching for these opportunities, the goals when you're looking in your DMS, your CRM, or you're using a vendor tool, is you want to be able to identify the groups of customers that are in an equity position, or that maybe you could even lower a monthly payment. Don't forget, you also want to look for those lease or financing customers that are, they're leasing and financing ending soon. You could also look for people that have missed a service appointment or missed a sales appointment. Maybe even they were in your service department and they declined service repairs. That's a group of people that we can prospect to. You know, there's so many groups of people here, and we're going to look at so many different groups today, but you've got to identify which ones you want to tackle first. So, you know, my recommendation is that as you're hearing me speak about these different groups, if there's one that connects to you, you write it down and start prioritizing which groups you want to tackle in what order. So you might even find that there's service customers that haven't been to your dealership in a while, and they're looking for, you're looking to obviously get them to return the visit. So a lot of different groups in the CRM, a lot of different groups out there that you will want to put together. These are your sales opportunities, and frankly, there's really a lot more to look at. As a matter of fact, I'll just share some more of those with you here in a bit. Before you commit to spending time and money on searching for all these sales opportunities, you've got to have a plan ready, and you got to know who you're going to target. You know, you definitely want to make sure that you know how many hours a day or how many weeks can you commit to. And the reason why I say hours a day or hours a week is because you really want to take this seriously. You want to be in the zone. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you contact these people, you want to be ready, you want to be excited, you want to be prepared, because when you have that game plan together, again, you're going to sound like a professional. You're also representing the dealership, and they put a lot of money into that brand and that brand identity, and you want to maintain that for them. You're going to be contacting people, looking to convert them into a new vehicle. And ultimately, people are going to rely on your words. So have a game plan together. You know, make sure that you know what you can put into this each week. And of course, like if I'm a manager, that's what I'm going to be asking you is like, when do you plan on doing this? If you're going to be the one that steps up and says, hey, I want you to purchase a vendor product so that we can use it. I want to be in charge of that product. You've got to know exactly what you're going to do. So that's my recommendation, is just be prepared. Don't go into this thinking, all right, yeah, this is a great opportunity. I'm going to pull some deals out of this thing. Have a game plan to be able to make those conversions. So do you need to find the right vendor tool? I mean, you might need to spend some time searching for that right tool that's going to work best for you. And of course, there's a lot of them out there, right? And you probably want to talk to some dealers that are using this part. I mean, ultimately, you want to know what the return on investment is. Maybe you can just start with your CRM first. I mean, to me, that's a cost-effective way to go about this. Maybe you just want to look in your CRM first. And you might even need a manager to help you, not only with your CRM if you're not totally acclimated to reporting, but if you have a vendor tool that's maybe not being utilized in your dealership, or you're looking to contract with a company, you might need a manager there that maybe knows how to use it to spend time with you, getting to know the product, or even spending time with you getting numbers together. The more planned you are, the more professional that you're going to sound. So just don't forget that you need to know what you're going to say on the phone to your targeted prospect. If you're going to leave a voicemail, you know, what are you going to say? Make sure you have a plan in front of you. So, of course, you're going to have a lot of following up to do as well. So you're going to want to have a game plan for each and every one of those follow-up voicemails. So if you leave one the first day, if you're calling back a few days later, you need a separate voicemail for that. So the more planned you are, again, the more professional you're going to sound. So let's look at even more opportunities that are in the CRM and are ones that you could really tackle today to get acclimated to this aspect of the business. So, of course, you can go, and because we have a lot of internet managers on the call today, I think that you'll find this really useful. And you probably already know these things. The question I think you always have to ask yourself is, am I actually doing something with it? You know, am I actually effectively using these reports or these lead lists? You may be used to contacting internet customers, and of course, it's the same goals, conversions, but the verbiage might be slightly different. So you might need a call guide and voicemail guide strictly for data mining. All right, so you might look into active leads without future follow-up. To me, this is where all the leads fall through the cracks. And it's easy to do, to have opportunities in the CRM, but we don't have future follow-up attached to them. These could easily be walk-ins. These could easily be walk-in customers that didn't buy and they bounced, and we got to get them back in the store. And if we don't have an ongoing long-term plan, they do fall through the cracks. So it's easy as, you know, looking for these customers, maybe even doing a search for the past 90 days and seeing if you're on top of all of your customers. You might even look at your sold customers. I mean, your previous customers, to me, I put this one in green because to me, this is where it's at. You know, we take these people for granted oftentimes. I mean, oh my God, if you have been in the dealership for, you know, a year, you should have, I mean, well over 100 customers. 100 customers that are going to buy, and hopefully in the next couple of years. So it's about nurturing, isn't it? Well, most salespeople will say to me, well, I don't even know what to say about 3, 6, 9, 12 months. That's why I don't call these people. So today we're going to tackle some more detailed information that can help you with solidifying that game plan. Of course, you can always search your bad credit lost customers, maybe 6 months old, and recontact. You know, these are simple ideas, and these are really just a warm-up. If you do not have a vendor tool for data mining, this would be a warm-up to show management that you're ready to make that jump, that you're ready for them to make that investment, and that it would make sense for them to make that investment. Of course, you can always search your dead, your lost leads. There's always potential deals sitting in there. And while the conversion rate's probably going to be pretty low on that one, I can't lie to you, I still want to put it up there because I go into dealerships and I contact customers live every single week. And I like going in the dead lost leads because sometimes these are, they're turning into dead and lost because they're annoyed by sometimes the broadcast emails that are going out. So if you're in a dealership where you don't have control over the amount of emails that they're sending out, and it is relatively annoying, there might be too many going out, and you've got a lot of unsubscribes, people might still be in the market to buy a car. They're sick and tired of all the emails coming out to them from their store. So again, you might be looking for something that detailed. I put this one in green, number 5. I love contacting orphans, and I know what you're thinking. I totally know what you're thinking. You hate orphans, and you hate it when somebody leaves the dealership and you get like slam dunks with like hundreds of these people. The thing is if you're new to the dealership selling world, this is a list that I always recommend that dealers or general managers provide you because it's a great warm-up on the phone. You know, if you're not used to talking to people on the phone, or if you are really just trying to hone in on your skills, this is a great opportunity to warm up. And I put it in green because orphans are sold customers. To me, they're one of the best opportunities. The problem and the downfall, again, is they're probably not ready to buy a car right now, but they will. And it's about nurturing. This is about developing a pipeline for long-term business. If you're in the car business, in sales, to be here long-term, there's a lot of things that have to be in place for longevity so that you're not constantly looking for an up. You know, nobody wants to sit out there in the hot lot this summer, looking for an opportunity where you could just get the phone to ring and then ask for you. So searching for walk-ins that walked and they didn't buy, those feedback opportunities, there's another lead list that you can create. Of course, you have your non-responders. And you could also search by model. Maybe you didn't have the car when that person contacted you. Maybe you didn't have the car. Maybe there's been a body style change in that particular model. Search by a model and maybe do a targeted list. Today we're going to look at a combination of contacting. It's going to be phone calls, voicemails, emails, and that really that combination helps you increase the opportunities, doesn't it? So, and our ninth and last key point here, of course, these are all looking into your CRM. What you have right now is your missed appointment. And this could go back as far as you want it to go. I mean, even 90 days. I love that kind of 90-day, range, because it gives you a full spectrum. So obviously, we just kind of went through a lot of opportunities in the CRM, but I love vendor tools that really kind of focus on lease retention and service. And today I brought on a guest speaker, Chris. He's going to be talking a little bit more about the leasing part of it and what he specifically says and his process for converting. But you can actually apply it to even these service customers. So as you listen to him come on here shortly, think about your service opportunities. This might be an area that you can carve out for yourself in the dealership. If your dealership doesn't have a program in place right now where they're actively looking to convert service appointments into new vehicles, this could be your niche. This could be your area of opportunity. And of course, I like a product called Auto Alert for a lot of reasons. Bottom line is it's, yeah, and I think Chris will attest to this. I mean, it's one that I just consistently see working. And of course, so they use a high-level, medium-level alert, so that's where that's kind of coming from, is that product. But some of the other products you'll see, like color symbols, that will help you identify which prospects you want to tackle. Something that integrates with your DMS is awesome, because you can see when people set appointments in the service drive, right? You already know they're coming in. So you can do your research ahead of time to see if they're in an equity position or in a position to even just get a new vehicle. Also, just keep in mind that a lot of service customers, I mean, they just might want something new. It's just that simple. It might not even be about, oh, no money down, lower my monthly payment, get into something, new. It might not be that approach that you take. You just mentally think, I mean, people might want some new equipment in their car. It's just that simple. And of course, you can see key points here as you're looking at the service opportunities that are scheduled for the day. You are kind of looking to see that, do they have a warranty that's expiring? You might have current customers that are there. They might even be waiting for service. The more detailed you get, the better conversion you're going to have. You might have people that are sitting there and they've got really high vehicle maintenance costs required. And again, you might have people that decline those services that you're going to want to follow up on. So you can see that there is actually a pretty big opportunity in service. But you're going to need to know some information before you start contacting these customers. Of course, you're going to need to know values for trade-ins. Of course, that would be the customer's vehicle that they're driving now. And of course, you want to know how to produce a new vehicle payment. So you might need a manager to help you. Or for those internet managers on the phone today, you might already be able to do your own deal. In that case, this would be a great opportunity for you. So be able to show the payments with a new vehicle versus keeping their car. These are some just basic things that you're going to want to be acclimated with. So with that being said, let's get into some more fine-tuned details. I brought on a guest speaker today, and Chris Canada is someone that I call a friend of mine. He's somebody that I've known for many, many years. The way we were introduced is his dealership brought me in to do training, and it was more on converting their phone and internet traffic into showroom appointments. And he is somebody that literally took our training content head on. I mean, immediately. And he's somebody that I was very proud of, and I'm still very proud of, because he can make the conversions happen literally with selling a customer experience. And I believe that if you can take that customer service focus in your sales approach, you can take it to any opportunity. So whether it's looking for opportunities in your CRM or it's using a vendor product, the goal is making sure you know what to say to customers, not only showing them the benefit, but showing them the value of the experience that your dealership provides. So today, I want to turn it over to Chris, and I want him to be able to share with you specific insight as to what he has been doing over the years to achieve 20 plus units a month. And part of those is from data mining efforts. And so I'm going to turn over to Chris and, teach us.
Thank you, Jennifer.
How can we sell more cars?
Hey, guys. So, yeah, I've known Jennifer for a while. She really helped turn me around on the phone and got me confident. And this data mining that I'm about to tell you guys about is something I was actually taught by a previous manager before I met Jennifer, but with what he taught me and the confidence she gave me on how to speak to people over the phone, it just turned things right around. But, you know, it's always easy to sell cars when you get customers walking through the door, but it's like when the faucet's shut off, you know, it becomes difficult. So I had a manager teach me back before even Auto Alert came out, which I'll get into that after. You know, he had me go down into our basement and grab old deal folders and look for leases, specifically leases, and go through and I'd get the Social Security numbers so I could call up, let's say Honda at the time, and get a payoff on, let's say, a customer's lease. Let's say the customer was 2 years into a 2 years into a lease that he had done for, you know, 12,000 miles a year. Well, I'd have a used car manager friend. I'd go up to him and say, hey, what do you think this 2-year-old, 24,000 mile, you know, car's worth? And you'd have to know the current leasing programs and what their customer was paying now and things like that. And, you know, I'd go run a lease. And if I saw that you could get that customer either really close to or at their payment or even below their monthly payment, then I'm calling up that customer. And that way there, you know, there's a couple of really good things happening. I'm selling a car. The dealership's getting a car that they're going to buy the right number, not, you know, unlike going to an auction and buying the car plus paying to ship it there and all that other stuff. I mean, you know, plus you're keeping your own business in-house, which is nice. You're not losing it to the competition. But and there's a couple things that you need to know. I mean, you really need to, you know, when you're doing this, you need to know that customer name. You got to get the phone number, their address, things like that. You need to know the year, make, model of their vehicle. Know how many miles they did last time around, so that you can kind of guesstimate, you know, where they're at right now. Now, if you have a tool like, say, an Auto Alert, it makes it even easier because they have, like Jennifer was saying, a medium and a high-level alert. And with that tool, I mean, you see right up on the screen an estimate of what the vehicle may be worth, meaning that current vehicle. It's going to show you even some options for leasing a new vehicle, maybe the same car. You can even mix it and match it with other opportunities. Plus, it's just a great tool even for service, because you can see who's coming in for service that next day. And, hey, if they're someone that you could possibly get out of their, you know, either loan or lease and keep them at the same payment, then you got to call them. It's just an easy thing to do. But I don't know if you guys do have Auto Alert. It's definitely a tool that I would ask my managers for if I were you, if you don't already have it. I know a lot of dealers out there do have it. And I'll tell you, I mean, I've probably sold many months with 20, 25 cars. And, you know, I'd probably do 75% of those might have been from Auto Alert, and the rest of them might have been traffic walking through that door. So it's just something that, you know, it'll get you up there in the higher numbers every month, and especially when it's slow, you're not the one sitting there gossiping how dead it is. You're actually busy, and, you know. So, guys, there's a slide that Jennifer made up that I definitely would want you guys to see afterwards, and it's going to kind of explain what I say to people, because what you say to these people is also going to be very, very key. So once I get all this information and I'm calling the customer, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say, hey, my name's Chris. I'm just calling because my used car manager is looking for a vehicle. And I was wondering, you know, if we could buy your vehicle from you and keep you either at or below the current payment that you're at now, would you be interested in doing something? And usually people aren't going to say no to that. At least I never had very many. And, you know, maybe on the finance end of things, if you get a finance customer that, you know, let's say they see the light at the end of the tunnel and they got 12 payments left, 20 payments left, that's not the person to target. But when you got a lease customer, you know, if you can get them out of their lease a year early, 6 months early, they're usually not going to say no. I mean, 70% of these people do not buy their car at the end. So I just think it's a great way to go. But what do you think, Jennifer? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I remember even listening. So you kind of started your conversation saying, hey, we like your pre-owned vehicle. It's something that I use car manager is looking to purchase. And I also am the software manager here. Is something I've heard you say before. And I want you to kind of maybe share a little bit more insight onto how we could open up this conversation, because it can be a little bit awkward and sometimes like just like a walk-in. It's like you say, hey, you know, how you doing? I'm just looking. You know, we don't want to be shut down right out of the gate. So I think like that introduction is so important, because honestly, like, you show people the benefit right away. Like, when you open up that conversation, you're like, hey, I'm the software manager here. I've been looking at some data, and I've located your vehicle as one of these that our pre-owned managers are looking for. And because you're a current customer, you know what I'm saying? Like, share with us, like, how you pop open this conversation, what's in it for the customer, and how you go about the rest of the call.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I'll literally just start off saying, hey, this is Chris, from, I'm not going to say the dealer I'm at, but XYZ Motors. And, my used car manager is looking to get, let's say, a pre-owned Honda Accord like yours. And, basically, if your car is in the right condition and the credit's good, then, hey, I might be able to get you at or below the payments that you're at now. Is that something that you'd be interested in? Usually they're going to say yes. Now, talking about their trade is going to be very important, because you got to tell these people, you can't just say don't be honest, but I'll kind of be like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being car's brand new, 1 being this car has been hit really bad, what number do you think it is? And then if they tell me, hey, it's a 7, then I'm going to say, listen, if it comes in and it's really a 5, then these numbers may not be accurate. So please be honest with yourself, because this is really going to affect how this works. And I'll tell them, like, really, this is a service that is going to make it so you don't have to, at least then go and pay maybe a disposition fee. We can waive that right from the get-go. Sorry, guys, this is new to me, so I'm a little nervous doing this right now. But, yeah, basically, I don't know. I need a little help, Jen. I'm freezing up a little bit.
All right.
A little nervous.
So this is Chris's first time doing a webinar today. I think you're doing a great job. I think, the important part that people hear today is new ideas on how they can approach this phone call. And I've heard you on the phone with these customers, and they love what you say. And I think the thing that a lot of people kind of approach these opportunities is they'll say things like, hey, I could get you into a new car and I could keep you at the same or less payments. Are you interested? And that's something that I'll put on the screen as something to avoid, because it sounds like a sales pitch. And I think you ultimately have to be able to do is tell people what your intention is, right? It's like, hey, I've been doing some research. I manage our data here. Your vehicle popped up as one that our pre-owned manager is looking for, and I'm going to be honest with you, there's a benefit to him in having you at least entertain the idea of swapping out your vehicle for something new. The benefit to our pre-owned manager is that your vehicle is easy to get to. He doesn't have to go to the auction. He doesn't have to pay shipping fees, auction fees, and things like that. So I'm throwing that out there just so you know. But there's also benefits to you, customer, right? It's like you potentially here, and if all of the factors align, and that's what I want to identify here today, if all these factors can align, is that it looks like on paper here that I could actually get you into a new vehicle that you're driving now, might even have some more equipment, and keep you at the exact same payment. It's even potentially possible that I could lower it a little bit, and you may not even have to put any money down. That's the reason why I'm contacting you. I've been doing my research here, and your vehicle popped up as an optimum opportunity for you and me to both with. Do you have 5 minutes so we could kind of just identify if it's worth your time? Because I think that's the thing that people need to know is what's the benefit for them. And if you're really conscious of the time savings, and that starts to be associated with the experience that you're going to provide, a more time savings buying experience, you're really kind of planting the seed there. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to drive down here if it's not going to work for you. I have a few questions and I want to ask you. And Chris kind of alluded to this, is that, hey, tell me just frankly, if you were to look at your car and rate it 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where would you put your car? You put it at a 7. Why would you do this, right? And so you're asking more information about the customer's car. So I don't know if that triggers some thoughts for you, Chris, but tell us some more of like what you kind of go through and the key points that you say to the customer, and just making sure that you're constantly being transparent about this situation. Because the thing is, the tricky part with these customers is that if they don't tell you honestly about their vehicle, it totally changes the dynamic of this opportunity. we'll have to shut this whole thing down if they misrepresent their vehicle. And you don't want them coming in and getting upset or thinking that you're a liar. So you have to be very crystal clear on this phone call with setting expectations, right, Chris?
Right. You got to put it on them. That's why I tell them, on a scale of 1 to 10 again, 1 being it's like brand new. Sometimes I'd say even, 10 being like brand new, 1 being like it's rolled down a mountain, hit every tree on the way down. People would usually get a little chuckle there, but I'd tell the people, like, even one of the examples I had a lady once tell me her Honda Odyssey van was a 7, and I asked her if there was any dents, chips, scratches, anything like that on the car. She told me no. Well, when she came in and I had, myself and the used car manager go out and appraise that car, there's a big, huge crack in the back of the bumper. That bumper to replace is probably, $500, and that $500 can change a lease payment to $15 a month in New Hampshire when I was up there, and that customer flipped out. But I told her, like, the whole time, I was like, if your car's not in the condition that you're telling me right now, then the numbers won't be the same. And that was one bad example where she's calling me a liar and this and that, and I did everything right from start to finish, and I've always done it that way. And you know what? The people that did come in that didn't realize that the car might not have been as nice as they thought it was, like, they understood. Like, most of them were very realistic. So as long as you're up front and you're giving them why you're doing this, telling them about the service, they're usually going to go for it. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, to get into a new car, heck, some of the cars these days, they come with free maintenance. It's like, why wouldn't you go to a new car? Like, I'm at a Toyota dealership now where, every single new car you get 2 years, 25,000 miles free maintenance. It's like, it's a no-brainer. We're calling some lease customers now that, heck, they're even making their last payments for them too, so it makes it even better. But
so you got to know the
But yeah, the main thing is, just getting all their information first and being prepared before you call that customer, knowing what you can actually do. And and Jennifer's right. And how you present yourself from the beginning is really everything. If you just called them and said, hey, would you like to lease another car for the same payment? It ain't gonna work. I mean, you gotta have a story. We want to buy your car. You're our customer. We want to keep you happy, and we'd love to put you into a new car and reward you with keeping your payments the same early. I mean, it's just something that keeps the people coming back for more too. I mean, it's something where I had customers sometimes call me a year after I did this with them the first time, and they're already asking, can I get into another one? Can I get into another one? It's like kid at the candy store. It's like actually a perfect example is like cell phones. Everyone always wants a new cell phone every single year. Well, that's how these people act. Once you do it the right way, treat them right, show that you're honest. I mean, once you do that, you're just really going to make a pipeline that's not going to stop. And people respect you, and they refer people to you too. I mean, I've done it where I've helped somebody by doing this, and then they're like, oh, my mother's got a lease, and they're having people call me just running numbers, and sometimes it might not have worked, but other times it did. So it really just really helps you sell a lot of cars, guys. Really, any questions at the end?
Yes, so we'll put Chris's contact information at the end in case you want to reach out to him. But I also kind of put together, I listened to one of Chris's calls and we put together just some, key points that he covered, and it's here on the screen. So if you want to get a copy of this, I'm more than happy to send this entire deck to you. So at the end, you can take down my email address and just send me an email and ask for this information if it's useful for you in just getting new word tracks or different techniques on approaching this part of the business. So thank you so much, Chris, for your information there. And I'm going to turn over to Eliana for a quick poll question.
That sounds like a great idea. By the way, Chris, we've had a few people write in saying you're doing a great job, by the way. So keep it up, all right? All right, let's launch this second of 3 poll questions today. It's a simple one. What CRM are you currently using? Please select one of the following answers. Is it a DMS integration? Are you using VIN Solutions, Dealer Socket, iMagic Lab, or some other CRM? Once we get a majority of those votes in, we're going to close the poll and share the results. And audience, thank you so much for your votes. We really, really appreciate it. I know we're going to be getting to this answer soon, but Jen, knowing what CRM they use, is that going to help you with your upcoming presentation? Are you going to say specific things that you can do for like each different CRM?
A little bit, yeah.
Or is what you're going to say apply to any CRM?
And for the most part, I mean, like some CRMs, obviously, to get the same result might take extra clicks, or it might be a little bit more of a process than others. Some are easier to use than others, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, I'm going to tackle two main areas here coming up: previous customers and orphan customers, because those are already your current sold customers. If you're looking for, you know, if you're looking for a long-term you know, employment there, and you're looking to increase your sales and your referrals and repeats and things like that, you know, you want to make sure that you have that pipeline, as we've all alluded to here today. So, yeah, we'll get into some details of that here.
Cool. And just so the audience knows, Chris, what CRM do you use?
Right now, I'm using dealer.com.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So let's close this poll and share the results. Okay, so 5% of today's audience said that they use DMS integration. The majority, though, 45%, are saying Vin Solutions is the CRM for them. 10% of today's audience says DealerSocket. No one is using iMagic Labs. And 40% said other. So there you go.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I find like most of our clients are using, you know, one of the ones that we've kind of listed here today. It doesn't matter which one you're using, because they're all going to be able to help you strategize and come up with a lead list. It's just a matter of how easy it is. So earlier we talked about the CRM being some big opportunities for putting an action plan together with converting. Looking in your CRM and looking to create lead list opportunities. And I like current customers, previous customers, because they're your hottest ones. Personally, there's a huge need and a huge benefit to dealerships looking for these sales opportunities in their current database, in their current CRM. So it's a lower cost for customer acquisition, and you can often achieve more quality pre-owned cars without the auction fee. So you can accelerate that customer buy cycle too. So let's talk a little bit about these previous customers. They're really your best customers, your best opportunities. And if you're new to the business, it's always great to document detailed notes every time you speak to a customer, because you want those in your CRM history. It's so much easier to contact these when they pop up in the future, as you want to start doing even some lease retention. The more notes you have in the CRM about this customer, the easier it's going to be for you to have even more communications with people. So just keep in mind that these steps that I'm putting here on the screen, these are ones that you want to put together for yourself personally as you're putting your game plan together. You don't want to call customers without a plan in front of you, and I mentioned that earlier. And today I'm going to give you some detailed phone guides regarding these previous current customers. So what are you going to say when you actually call them at 6 months? Now remember, you're looking for retention. It's totally possible that they even know other customers that want to buy cars. So, you know, with all of that in mind, you know, the goal here is to make sure that we're showing people a great customer experience, and that we're giving them benefits to want to come in and work with you or continue to work with you. So maybe you've been in the dealership for years. This is going to be a lot easier for you. People that are brand new to the business, the orphan section will probably be more applicable to you. But a couple of things that you should know is, you know, we always want to have new verbiage or word tracks that really connect with customers and allows us to have extended conversations. So what I often hear from sales reps are like, okay, well, if I'm going to call these people at 6 months, okay, they bought a car 6 months ago, what am I supposed to say now? And let alone 9 or 12 months. So I thought about sharing some phone call guides with you here today, and hopefully they're fresh and new ideas for you on what to say on the phone. And just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be just for this section of customers. You know, hopefully you can use these for all of your opportunities. Always keeping in mind that this group of opportunities require nurturing behavior from you. It is not the quick sale. That's why I know you get the big frown when you look at this page. But the thing is that, you know, this is a pipeline business, and I can't even say it enough. These are your deals that over time will consistently equate to guaranteed monthly business. So let's take a moment to get an idea of what to say. So let's just say we've got a customer and you sold them, they're out of there, it's been 6 months. So what would you say when you called this person? I'm going to give you just a quick guide here to reference. So you might say, hi, Chris, I'm glad I reached you today. This is Jennifer at ABC Motors, and you purchased a car from me back in October. Thanks again for your business, and it means a lot to all of us here. Are you enjoying your Toyota Camry? Yeah, they're awesome cars, great gas mileage. Well, I know how busy your days can get, so I'm just going to keep this brief. I'm working on delivering better buying experiences for our current and future clients. We're preparing cars and paperwork in advance, so our clients are always staying on time. I just want to let you know about this advancement in case you or anyone you know is in the market to buy a vehicle, and we truly want to make this an exceptional car buying experience for you. Would you be willing to recommend me to your friends and family? Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. Well, hey, is it all right if I send you an email real quick with a special invitation and an offer for your family or friends? Thank you. Is your email address still jennifer@dealersolution.com? Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We value as a company. We want to be here for you when the time is right for your next vehicle. Remember, this is branding you and the dealership. This is about getting positive reviews posted online. This is about ultimately getting conversions, enhancing or increasing the buy cycle for some people. This is a customer experience, and we want to make sure that you queue up your business for retention, and that's what this is about. So what would you say at, let's say, 12 months? Hey, Chris, it's Jennifer, ABC Motors. How are you? And now I'm referring to 1 to 2 pieces of information that you've learned about them, and hopefully you've got that documented in the customer record. You're always going to need to refer to these things. You might ask, oh, hey, last week you bought a new car, you had a new baby, that your baby's like, what? 12 months old now, just over a year, right? I mean, how's the car working out for all of you? Great, right? So you're just reminding them that you were paying attention. This is about retention. It's great to hear. I just want to make a quick call to you, check in, see how things are going. Do you need help with any of your vehicle features or even scheduling an oil change? I'm here for you whenever you need me. It's nice to touch base with customers like you now and again. I hope you have a great rest of the day and happy first birthday to your new car. Right? So again, it's about being prepared when you call these people. It's 18 months now. What can you say that's possibly different? It's the same thing when you get these voicemails. If the more notes you have in the system and they're filed, the easier this is going to be. So you might say, hey, Chris, it's Jennifer. ABC, how are you? I'm so glad to hear this. Well, I just wanted to check in with you. I'm just curious, are you still working for ABC company? Oh, good. Well, hey, I can offer you or any of your coworkers a complimentary car wash if you pass my name along to them. Or maybe ask about something you learned about them and tie it into the complimentary car wash, right? So you've got to remind them how important they are to you. I just want to briefly check in, make sure if I'm here for you if you need any assistance. Like the goal is to provide you excellent customer service. You can't say it enough. You are branding the dealership and you're branding yourself for repeat referral business. You're looking into the system here, and maybe you look at your sold customers and you look at 18 months, and maybe you're pulling a report for 6 months sold customers. Maybe you're pulling a report for 9 months. These are easy lists to put together. And one last thing before we go today. Those orphans, I know how annoying they can be, but I don't want them to be annoying for you because personally, again, these are like deals in the bank, or maybe it's your service or your savings account. You can look at them. But I like salespeople to contact this group of people and have something different to say. And you don't have to be thinking, oh my gosh, I just got transferred a boatload of these orphans and I'm just going to run up my to-dos and this is pretty annoying. But you've got to ask yourself right now, are you actually prospecting these customers? Are you just calling them like, oh, your salesperson's changed? We don't need to even tell them that. I mean, that's kind of actually negative, and it kind of might even be seen as a negative impact on the brand of the dealership. So maybe, what's that?
I just said that would be the worst idea to call and say that, for sure.
Right, exactly. So, but that's what people say. Now, remember, we're data mining right now. We're looking for opportunities to make vehicle conversion. So maybe they're not now buyers. I get this, but they are an awesome group to nurture. So you might call up an orphan, right, and you're like, hey, Chris, thanks for taking my call today. This is Jennifer, ABC Motors, and you purchased a vehicle here on October 1st. I just wanted to say on behalf of myself and the owner, we want to thank you again for your business. And it means a lot to all of us. Are you enjoying your Toyota Camry? Okay, I'm going to keep this call brief. I want to quickly introduce myself to you. If it's okay, I'm going to send you an email that includes some coupons and all my contact information. I'm here to help you. I want to know that you can contact me anytime for your vehicle needs. Is your email address still? So we're updating our system. A lot of things are happening here. You're branding yourself, and you're introducing who you are. You want to make sure you get that email to that customer because you want them to know who you are. You're now in the equation. So a lot of different opportunities here in the CRM to look for deals, for prospects, to create lead lists. Today we talked about even using third-party sources and company tools to be able to produce these lead lists. More importantly, you've got to get your plan together. You got to have a game plan. You need to have phone voicemail guides. You might need to have a manager. You've got to have the right attitude, and you have to know that you're going to have to be consistent about your follow-up. It's a pipeline business.
And our last poll question is on your screen now, audience. We'd love it if you could answer this one for us. Do you currently have a data mining process in place at your dealership? Sounds like an easy question, huh? Well, please select one of the following answers. Yes, and it's working great for us. Yes, but we are not consistent with it. Yes, but we aren't quite getting the results we'd like to see. No, management doesn't think it's important to have a data mining process. Or no, we didn't feel that data mining would work for us. Once we get a majority of those votes in, we're going to close the poll and share the results. Once again, the question is, do you currently have a data mining process in place at your dealership? Yes, it's working great for us. Yes, but we admit we're not consistent with it. Yes, but we aren't getting the results we'd like to see. No, management doesn't think it's important. Or no, we didn't feel that data mining would work for us. And the votes are coming in fast. And audience, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. Also, we're looking for some more questions from you, my audience members. So if you're sitting on a question that's just peeking around in your head, write it down, stick it in the keyboard. Come on, send it over. We're going to be getting to that Q&A session in just a moment. And Jen and Chris, are you ready to see the answers to this last
Yeah.
Check it out.
Let's check it out. Okay, we're going to close it and share the results. 40% of today's audience said yes, and it's working great for us. Wow, that's higher than I thought. 25% said, 25%, a quarter, said yes, but they admit they're not consistent with it. 15% said yes, but we aren't getting the results we would like to see. 15% said no, management doesn't think it's important, and the remaining 5% said no, we didn't feel that data mining would work for us. Interesting.
Yeah, you're all over the place there. That's awesome. Well, hopefully today you've at least extracted a few different ideas, maybe even just kind of idea starters to organize a game plan to be able to get more out of this. I mean, 40% are already kind of like getting involved in this. I hope today that you've got some additional ideas to inject into your presentation on the phone. I want to kind of get into appointment setting because this is ultimately the big deal, right? So it's like you called this person, you've established that there's some interest in at least seeing them. You obviously need to get in to see their vehicle. You're looking to convert. So I want to kind of throw out here on the screen an appointment setting, kind of not exactly a script, but it's just some direction here. That it's not just like, oh, great, yeah, you can come down tonight. Great, that'd be awesome. Hey, I'll see you sometime this evening. That's not an appointment. But when you've already kind of used the approach that Chris kind of shared with you here today, and you're going into setting the appointment, you want to let people know that it's not just you that they're coming in to see, but that you're scheduling an expert appraiser also to be there, and that maybe your appraiser isn't always on site. You want to kind of paint the picture that it's important to have an appointment time, so that way you are ready, you're prepared, that you have vehicle information ready to share with them. So, what you're seeing here is that you're mentioning this word track, expert appraiser. Let me just check everyone's schedule right now so that we're ready for your arrival. I want to make sure that when you do arrive, that we are totally prepared for you. I'm offering them 2 dates and 2 times. And if they serve something that's easier, more convenient for them, then it's okay to pose those questions. But now we're confirming the date and time. And I'm also making sure that I email them appointment confirmation. Every time you're making these conversions, into appointments, we have to make sure that they get an appointment confirmation, not to mention one by phone in advance if that's applicable, meaning that it would be maybe 24 hours out from today. So if they're coming in tonight, obviously we don't need somebody calling them, but they do need to get an appointment confirmation, and they should get a text from you as well. And then you've got to ask if it's okay, and you can use your CRM to be legal about it and send them that confirmation. More importantly, you've got to go back to the CRM and document all the notes that you have on the customer, everything that you acquired during this conversation, what was important to them, if they needed new equipment, whatever, why they, what they used the call for. I mean, all of the standard questions that you probably already asked, but the question is it getting into the system? The other key point before I leave you here today is I feel like you can increase your opportunities. So by leaving effective voicemails. I mean, the goal is to get callbacks. You're going to make call after call after call, and that's going to be the struggling part, as all internet managers struggle with this. You know, it's getting people to actually answer the phone. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. But leaving voicemail after voicemail after voicemail, leaving the same one that doesn't increase callbacks, I mean, that's when you have to ask yourself, is what I'm saying really working? So I want to leave you today with some additional elements to including your voicemails if you're not doing it already. I find that this gets the phone to ring and people asking for you a little more frequently. So a couple things is that we always want to use the prospect's name 2 times in the voicemail. I always like kind of use it at the beginning and the end of the conversation. And if you have a source, like where the original car came from, like let's say they bought their car from you and they had initiated through AutoTrader or maybe TrueCar, refer back to those lead sources, right? So you might say, hey, back in October, you had contacted me and you've gone through Autotrader.com, and as a partner with AutoTrader, I want to make sure that you continue to have the same high-level customer experience. So if it's recognizable lead source, associate them with your voicemail. Just kind of piggybacks on the brand equity. If you had a third party and it's not recognizable, then you don't need to use this part of it. But what I'm saying is like, hey, back in October, you contacted me through AutoTrader. Part of our Autotrader.com buying program that we're associated with here is making sure that you always continue to receive a high-level customer experience. I did some research on your vehicle, and I have some information to share with you when you have a quick moment. So again, you're reinforcing that they had selected a great vehicle because you're probably going to be trying to get them into the same vehicle. So, hey, you chose a great vehicle. I hope it's been great on gas mileage for you. I remember that you saying that you commuted a lot. So you might even just personalize that message for that customer. And that's the key here. You might be saying, hey, I'm doing this. But are you really doing this? Are you really showing that customer that you really care about that customer experience? This is the differentiating factor between you and other dealerships. You're trying to retain business after all. So reinforcing, what they're currently driving, because you most likely are going to be trying to sell them that exact same vehicle, only newer. And maybe there was a favorite feature that they had in the car that you can refer to. You don't need to use all of these techniques, but just remember, you might be leaving more than one voicemail, so you're going to want to switch up your verbiage and what you're saying. Always reflecting on things that you acquired during past conversations is going to be paramount for people being receptive to your message. We want callbacks after all. And we make sure that you let them know that, hey, I want to make sure that you have a pleasant experience with our dealership, that you maintain that. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to make sure that you have a more streamlined and time-efficient experience on your return visit, even if it's just for an oil change. Always leaving your name twice and always providing your phone number 2 times. If you want any examples of these voicemails or anything that we talked about that you didn't see a specific example for today, I want you to be able to email me. And of course, you can always email Chris as well. I'm going to put my contact information next here shortly, but I want you to know that we have tons and tons and tons of examples. And for the winner today of our prize, you'll be able to select 3 online training modules with downloads and tools that will give you even more specific information on what we're talking about here today if those are the ones you choose. So you want to make sure that you let them know that you're going to be calling back. And this is one of the kickers on the voicemail. Say, hey, your business continues to be very important to us, and ensuring that you have a great customer experience with us is my priority. I'm going to put you on my schedule right now to contact you again tomorrow so we can have a quick chat on how you're doing in your vehicle. And I do want to share some new information with you. I'm telling them what I'm going to be doing next. If they know that you're going to contact them again, it increases your odds of receiving a call back. So you're not just leaving it up to them and say, hey, yeah, give me a call back. I've got great news. That would be kicking it old school. So hit that delete button right now. A couple resources. I love using Driving Sales website, and I don't go on it all the time, but when you're ever looking for topics, you're looking for new ideas and ways that other salespeople are handling certain situations, this is a great tool to use. I'm sure you have been on there before, but if it's something that you don't do regularly, throwing out some suggested resources on data mining that we talked about here today, and just other salespeople conversations and what they have to say. And you might get some ideas on different products that might work for you as well as you're doing your research. So today, here's what you want to do. We talked a lot about looking in your CRM initially if you're not totally used to like hardcore everyday prospecting, even using a third-party vendor tool. If you're not doing it every day, you can start with your CRM to get in the zone, pulling lead lists from there, looking at the different opportunities. If you're using a third-party system or if you're not sure, ask to see if you can use it. Put together your call and voicemail guides. You really have to sell this sometimes to managers. You want to get on this program. They might be using it themselves. They might have like one person in the dealership. If you want to get in on this, show them the game plan. And make sure that you ask for lists of customers in the DMS and the CRM that you can prospect. If you don't have enough people to call every day, you've got to ask people to help you put these lists together. I believe in 60 prospecting phone calls a day. That's what sells you 20 vehicles. And if you're asking yourself, or you might be saying to yourself, I don't have 60, these are the things that we talked about here today to find 60 people to call. So I hope you got some new information, some stuff that will help you update your approach to data mining. And if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Of course, you can always email me directly, too.
Now is the time to ask, audience. If you haven't gotten your question yet in for Jen Suzuki or Chris Kanata or both, now would be the perfect time to send that in. We're going to be getting to your questions in just a moment. Before we do, though, play some music. We got some prize to give away, all right? So if you missed it at the beginning of the webinar, I announced that our good friends at eDealer Solutions are giving away an incredible prize today on the webinar. One of you lucky webinar attendees is going to win 3 online training modules of your choice from the eDealer Solutions online training series, Selling Cars Through Conversations. Jen, you can go to the next slide if you wouldn't mind. There are literally so many topics that you could choose from on there, all there to help you improve your phone conversations and appointments. And each module also has tools to download for executing positive changes. This is a great prize for your dealership, so get ready, get to your keyboards. First one to write in the correct response is going to be winning this awesome prize today. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. Of course, vendors, you know we love you, but we're going to ask you to please sit this one out as this prize is intended for dealership personnel only. We do thank you in advance, of course. Okay, here's your question, everyone. Good luck. And I'm just going to give you a heads up. It's actually a 3-part answer. So we're looking for 3 answers, okay? According to Jennifer, what are 3 key things that you need to have ready before you data mine? What are 3 things that you need to have before you data mine? No one has gotten it yet. Hello? There's plenty of people out there. I can't believe one person didn't write this down. Not one person?
No, it was kind of a hard one. I will admit that. It was on a slide.
Let me see. No one's got it. No, that's not it. No one got it. And ironically, somebody else actually wrote in. Bill wrote in, he said, early in the presentation, there was a slide that listed 3 things that you needed to implement.
Right.
What were the 3 items? So he's asking too, so he missed it. So no one has gotten yet. I am A-okay if you want to guess and write in more guesses, but no one has gotten it yet. Oh no, what do we do, Jen?
We find the one that's closest match. I bet there's a lot of them that say you need to have a plan in place.
Nope, not one. Although one, Jessica put in process.
Full hour. I
know, right? Jessica said process, which was one of the answers. So
yeah, that's one of the answers.
I'm just going to give it to Jessica.
Hello.
No one else got it. No. Because we were getting a lot with like their phone number, the make and model, the personal info, stuff like that. Those are the answers that they're giving us. But they're not giving us the actual answers. So I'm going to give it to Jessica. Jessica, you're our winner today, since you got 1 out of the 3. Jessica Agi, I don't know how you say your last name, but Jessica, you're my winner today. According to Jennifer, what are the 3 key things that you need to have ready before you data mine? You need a process, a plan, and self-discipline. So, Jessica, congratulations. Yes, I know. See, now people are writing in, oh, I knew that.
Sometimes simple is hard.
You completely blew it, I know. Okay, Jessica G, you're our winner. Please write on in and let me know what dealership you're from. We do appreciate all of you playing along. Don't worry, you know what? We give away prizes every week. So even if you didn't win today, like Jessica did, she did win. But if you weren't Jessica and you didn't win today, you can always come back to another Dealer On webinar where we will have more prizes for you. Okay, Jessica wrote in. She is from Helena Motors. So thank you everyone for playing along. Of course, congratulations to our winner, Jessica Agi. And of course, we got to thank our good friends at eDealer Solutions for their incredible generosity and a very tough question, Jennifer.
Hard.
Thank you so much. No, that's fine. Okay, I'm writing down your name. Jessica, you're going to hear from our good friends over at eDealer Solutions about claiming your prize. So thank you for that. David wrote, let Jen know that just because we didn't get the answer, it doesn't mean that the presentation was that we weren't paying attention. It was an awesome presentation. Okay, so there you go.
Yay!
By the way, Justin
thank
just
you for
now
that.
wrote in process, plan, and self-discipline. So thank you, Justin. A little bit late to the party, but I appreciate you. All right, so let's get to so Bill, I hope that answered your first question. He says, early in the presentation, there was a slide that listed 3 things needed to implement, including trade value. So maybe there was another slide. Jen, are we confusing the 2 slides? Was there another one where you said trade value?
Oh, that is confusing, yes. Well, he's referring to when you call the customer, right? Yeah, I guess those are things that you would, well, that's actually accurate too. You'd have to, know a little bit about the customer's vehicle and are they in a position for you to actually call in advance. But really, what we were looking at was this particular slide at the beginning when we talked about our checklist.
Yes.
There it is.
Okay, so the one he's talking about, the slide with the trade value, which slide is that? Maybe we could answer his question on that.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. I think, is it this one?
What are you looking for? Manager? Bill, is this the slide you were looking for? Please write on in and let us know.
Okay. I think he might be referring to this one.
Customer name, phone number, address, zip code, year, make, trim level of the vehicle.
Well, here's the thing, is that if you're looking for additional information on these slides, you can email me and I'll send you the whole deck, and then that way you can you'll have all this content to look through.
I love it. Yes. So let's put it back on your the slide with your contact information on it. Okay, everyone. Jennifer, thank you so much. Audience, if you would like a copy of the slide deck, email Jennifer directly at jennifer@edealersolution.com. She'll get that out to you right away. All right. Question came in for, I think they're kind of the same question, 2 different questions. Andy wrote in, Chris, do you work with or spiff the service department to point out possible sales prospects? And Bill wrote in, any advice if I want to work on service-based leads? I think it's kind of the same thing. Chris, how do you handle that at your dealership?
With this dealership that I'm at now, I don't get to handle it, but at my last dealership, they would have me call some people sometimes they'd have me pay attention to Auto Alert, because Auto Alert every day would give you the list of people who were coming in that day into service. And there was no spiffs or anything there. Granted, they should have had them. I think it would have promoted a lot more, opportunities.
Oh, yeah,
But
you think?
absolutely, we all know that. But it's like, it's just all you got to do is you just need a software, I think, that can tell you, hey, these people are coming in, and you want to approach the right people, the people that you can actually do something with if they're interested. So. But if you can get your dealer to do something and you can get some spiffs for the service department, I would definitely recommend it. Definitely.
So what's kind of a spiff would you think would be fair?
50 to $100 at least. I mean, you got to make it worth the while too. I mean, hey, you're going to be buying a car for the right money no matter what. You're buying it from your own service customer. You're not paying to get it to, or from an auction or anything like that. I mean, make it worth their while. Make it so you're actually going to move some units.
I got you. Okay. And Bill just wanted to, he said, any other advice you have for service-based leads?
Not really on my end. I mean, I never did a lot with the service end. I mean, I've done some, but my thing was more the lease retention is what I like to call it. It's something I had fun doing. I'm an ex-private investigator. That's what I did before I sold cars. Yeah, I like to dig, and I never liked sitting around waiting for the up. It would drive me nuts. So that was something that stimulated my mind, and just I had fun with it. It was just something that everyone thought I was nuts, but at the same time, it's like they were jealous of how many cars I could sell doing it. It's just fun for me. It's just my little niche.
I love it. I love it. Okay, follow-up question from Bill. He says, if currently a salesperson relying on fresh ups, how long would you guess it would take before you could not need to rely on fresh ups by doing these steps? Jen, Chris, what would you think?
Jeez. I mean, hey, at the place I'm at now, I got a guy that sells 30 cars a month, and I mean, he doesn't stop. I mean, he's got so many repeat customers that come in, but he'll be 4 deep. He doesn't care. He'll take on 2 new customers while he's already got 2. So I mean, it all depends. I mean, this guy could probably sit around and sell 15 to 18 cars a month, but he's hungry. He wants to sell 30 cars, so he still takes up. So, I mean, I don't know. I've always taken him. So I think it's tough to get to the point where, I mean, I know there's guys out there that have done it, but I mean, you probably gonna take a lot of good follow-up. I don't know how many years it will take, but
I mean, I can answer that from my perspective, and it's everything that we talked about here today, building that pipeline. So if you're a new person and you come into the dealership and you ask these guys, you ask your managers to give you lead lists, and you're contacting orphans, and you're looking at you're looking at some of those other opportunities like your missed appointments. You're looking for active customers that kind of fell through the cracks, didn't have any follow up associated with them. If you can tackle all of these areas right away and you get acclimated to the phone, I think that's the big thing, is that you've got to get great on the phone. Now you have a lead list and you're good on the phone. You've honed in on this skill. You know exactly what you're going to say. You have the right attitude. I mean, if you're selling over 10 cars a month, then you've got 100 customers at the end of the year. And what your goal is that as you're contacting all of these sets of people regularly, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, then you start to build up, 2 and 3 more incremental deals every single month. So my answer to you is based on my experience with new people in the dealerships that actually get their arms around all of these components. I think that you can start to see your business sitting there. It's guaranteed business after a year. But like Chris said, there's going to be certain people that are super aggressive. They make a real big impact. Maybe it's their personality. It's not their process. That really gets people to make referrals and repeat. At the same time, the goal is for you to get people posting reviews online about you, right? I mean, the more people that are talking about you, the more your phone's going to ring. So you can increase your business every month just by tuning into each of these factors. I personally believe that incorporating video into your sales process is going to help you, and you're going to accelerate those incremental repeat referrals, every single month, even sooner than just a year.
I love it. Okay. Bill already said thank you, so thank you so much for the great questions. And we had a comment that came in from Michael. He says, we have dedicated service drive sales reps who don't take ups, and they sell from the service drive without taking any ups, phone calls, or internet leads. Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay, I didn't realize we were so far past the top of the hour, so let's just do one more question, and then we'll close it up, okay?
Okay.
Christine wrote in, question for Jennifer and Chris. In your experience, how important is email marketing for leads and conversions?
So I want to, I spoke briefly on this, but I have to tell you, this is like a big mistake I think a lot of dealerships make. They blast that entire database. There's nothing applicable to these people. You have to have a marketable list, and this is key. I think that it's crucial to getting the conversions that you're looking for with data mining, the topics that we talked about here today. Sending out emails targeted, like for example, okay, like I have let's say a service customer that hasn't been to the dealership in a year. I pull that list and I'm only marketing to that list, and I'm providing them a coupon to come in and get a free oil change. I mean, that to me is highly effective versus blasting the whole database of free oil change. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's not, yeah. While it seems like value, it's not targeted. So I hope that answers your question. You have to be, I think email marketing is crucial for this.
Maybe a topic for another upcoming webinar from you, Jennifer.
Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you what, Christine already said thank you. And with that, Jennifer and Chris, oh, by the way, she also says yes, she would love that. Jennifer and Chris, I shall also thank you on behalf of all of our attendees today and all the ones who will watch this recording. Thank you so much for coming on and doing another great Dealer On webinar presentation. We really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Chris? Chris, thank you so much. Good luck.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good luck in your endeavors, sir, okay? All right, well, so of course we're already past the top of the hour. I want to remind the audience a link to download a copy of this webinar recording is going to be emailed to you later today for your reference. Please feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues. And today's webinar is also going to be posted online within 24 hours. All you have to do is go to dealeron.com/webinar to view our upcoming webinar schedule and access any of our past webinars too. Also, at the conclusion of the webinar, you're going to receive a short survey. So fill it out because we're always looking for great feedback from our audience. Today, we're going to randomly select a couple of people from all the completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. And yeah, invitations will be going out tomorrow for our next webinar. Jen. There we go. How to expand your reach and sell more cars with classified marketing. Actually, we've never done a webinar on this topic. So to date, I don't know if you know this or not, more than 4.1 million passenger vehicles have been sold on eBay Motors. And a passenger vehicle sells every 90 seconds on eBay alone. Are you getting your share of the pie from classified marketing sites? Classified marketing has made tremendous changes and improvements over the past year and a half. Just the last year and a half. Websites like Craigslist, and eBay continue to be increasingly valuable assets for dealerships, yet many feel confused about how to use these sites to their full advantage. In this eye-opening one-hour webinar, Jim Jabay of LotVantage will discuss the value of classified marketing sites, how to navigate them, and sell more inventory by using two of the top 10 most visited websites, eBay and Craigslist. Attendees will get a comprehensive education about the evolution of classified marketing and then learn valuable insights about Craigslist and eBay. The game has changed and spamming is dead. If you want to learn how to expand your reach and sell more cars with classified marketing, then this is one webinar you just can't afford to miss. So don't forget, Dealer On's weekly webinars are held Thursdays, 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions regarding these webinars and our topics, feel free to contact me directly. Again, my name is Eliana Raggio. I'd love to hear from you, so track me down online. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. I'm on all the automotive social networks, or you can email me directly at eliana@dealeron.com. Thank you all so very much for spending this time with us today, and I hope to see you all on another webinar in Dealer On's continuing education series. Take care.